Good evening, my friends. Tonight, I want to start in a different way. Instead of making you wait until the end, I'm going to give you the answer right now. No long introduction, no dramatic build-up, just the truth. The moment doubt appears, stop giving it your attention. Return to your chosen assumption within 30 seconds. That's the entire lesson. It may sound almost too simple. You might think, it can't be that easy. I've struggled with doubt for months, maybe even years. There has to be more to it. But that urge to make it complicated is actually part of the very habit we're here to break. Stay with me. The principle itself is simple, but to truly live it instead of merely understanding it, we need to go deeper. We need to see what doubt really is, why resisting it has never solved anything, and why those first 30 seconds matter more than most people realize. Let's begin by clearing up one misunderstanding. Most people believe doubt is a natural response to uncertainty. They tell themselves, "Of course I doubt. I haven't seen any proof yet. Of course I'm questioning this. I don't know how it's going to happen." Because of that, they treat doubt like a reasonable advisor. They analyze it, entertain it, answer its questions, and try to satisfy every concern it raises. But doubt is not created by a lack of evidence. Doubt comes from a divided mind. Here's what's really happening. One part of your awareness is saying, "My desire is already mine. It's finished. It's done." At the very same time, another part insists, "I don't have it. I can't see it. Nothing has changed." Both ideas exist together. One says yes, the other says no. One lives in fulfillment. The other remains focused on lack. Consciousness cannot fully occupy two opposing states forever. Eventually, it settles into the one that feels most familiar. For most people, the visible world feels stronger than the unseen one. The empty bank account, the missing relationship, the pain in the body, those experiences seem more convincing than the reality they've imagined. So consciousness naturally falls back into the familiar state, and they call that experience doubt. But it isn't really doubt. It's simply the assumption you've strengthened the most, winning your attention. This changes everything. If doubt were caused by your circumstances, then you would need your circumstances to improve before you could believe. You would need evidence first. Yet you also need belief to produce that evidence. That's an endless cycle that keeps you stuck. But if doubt is only the result of two competing assumptions, and one has been receiving more of your attention than the other, then the solution becomes obvious. Stop strengthening the assumption you no longer want to live from. Now consider what usually happens when doubt appears. Most people immediately fight it. They argue with it. They repeat affirmations over and over, hoping to overpower it. They search for signs, proof, and reassurance that their manifestation is on its way. They keep looking outside themselves for something that will finally silence the uncertainty. Sometimes those efforts seem to work for a while. Other times they don't. But here's the part almost nobody recognizes. Every battle you have with doubt quietly gives it more importance. Think about it. You don't defend yourself against something you believe has no power. You don't build walls against a threat that doesn't exist. The moment you begin arguing with doubt, you're treating it as something worthy of your time and energy. So if you spend half an hour debating with it, gathering evidence against it, repeating affirmations because you're afraid of it, or desperately searching for proof, you're not actually overcoming doubt. You're keeping it alive by continuing to make it the center of your attention. By doing that, you're giving doubt authority. You're treating it as though it's a powerful opponent that deserves your time, energy, and full attention. But consciousness always follows whatever you consistently focus on. When you keep engaging with doubt, your mind interprets that engagement as something important, something real. Doubt doesn't succeed because it's stronger than you. It succeeds because you keep stepping into the ring with it. That's the hidden trap, and many people remain stuck in it for years. Doubt shows up, they fight it. They feel better for a little while. Then doubt returns, and the whole cycle begins again. It never ends because they're feeding the very thing they're trying to eliminate. Trying to defeat doubt is like trying to punch a shadow. Every swing convinces you the shadow is actually there. So here's what you do instead. More importantly, I want you to understand why every part of this process matters. The instant doubt appears, that familiar whisper saying, "What if this doesn't happen? What if none of this is real? What if the evidence proves otherwise?" Respond with 3 simple steps. First, notice it immediately. Don't let it linger for more than a few seconds. Quietly acknowledge it without emotion. Simply say to yourself, "There's doubt," nothing more. Don't investigate where it came from. Don't wonder why it appeared or whether it's trying to tell you something important. Observe it the same way you'd notice a cloud drifting across the sky. It's there, and that's all. Second, refuse to participate. Don't argue with it or explain why it's wrong. Just end the conversation. Use whatever words feel natural. Not interested. That isn't my reality anymore. I no longer choose that state. Say it calmly, without fear or frustration. You're not trying to overpower doubt. You're simply declining the invitation to entertain it. Finally, use the rest of those 30 seconds to return completely to your fulfilled state. Don't force positive thinking. Don't struggle to convince yourself. Simply step back into the feeling that your desire is already accomplished. Experience it as real. Let yourself live in that completed reality, even if only for those few moments. Feel the satisfaction, the peace, the certainty of already having what you desire. That's it. Within half a minute, doubt arrived, received no attention, and was replaced by the awareness of fulfillment before it ever had the chance to grow. Now, why is that 30-second window so important? Because doubt behaves like a seed. The instant it enters your mind, it's tiny. It has no roots, no momentum, no emotional strength. It's only a passing thought looking for somewhere to settle. The moment you begin examining it, arguing with it, or trying to solve it, you're giving that seed everything it needs to grow. Your attention becomes the soil. Your emotion becomes the water. Your focus provides the sunlight. In less than a minute, a passing thought begins feeling meaningful. A little later, it feels like a genuine concern. Give it enough time, and eventually it starts to feel like undeniable truth. That's why someone can end the night completely convinced their desire is already fulfilled, then wake up the next morning wondering if any of this works at all. It wasn't because their faith disappeared overnight. Somewhere during the day, they unknowingly spent enough uninterrupted time feeding doubt until it developed deep roots. The purpose of the 30-second rule is to stop that process before it ever begins. When you redirect your awareness quickly, doubt never finds a place to grow. It's like dropping a seed onto solid concrete. No matter how perfect the seed may be, without soil, it cannot take root. It fades away, not because you conquered it, but because you refuse to give it the one thing it depends on to survive, your attention. I remember a woman who came to me after spending nearly 2 years practicing these teachings with very little visible success. She wasn't careless, uncommitted, or inconsistent, quite the opposite. She was one of the most dedicated students I had ever met. She studied faithfully, practiced every day, and sincerely wanted to understand these principles. Yet despite all of her effort, nothing seemed to be changing in her outer world. I asked her to describe exactly what she was doing each day. She explained that every evening she entered the state akin to sleep. She imagined the loving relationship she desired with vivid detail, real emotion, and complete immersion. She fell asleep feeling as though it already existed. By every standard, the practice was excellent. But the next morning, doubt would arrive. From that moment until bedtime, she spent her day trying to defeat it. She searched for signs, looked for proof, argued with herself, and answered every fearful thought with another mental defense. It was like spending the entire day in a courtroom, acting as both the prosecutor and the defense attorney, constantly debating whether her desire would ever become reality. I looked at her and said, "You spend a few minutes each night living in the fulfilled state, then almost the entire day living in doubt. Which state do you think your consciousness is accepting as true?" The answer hit her instantly. You could see the realization on her face. I gave her only one instruction. For the next 7 days, forget about trying to make the relationship happen. Stop looking for signs. Stop worrying about how it will come. Your only assignment is this. Every time doubt appears, catch it within 30 seconds and return to your assumption. Nothing else. 3 days later, she noticed something unexpected. The anxiety had almost disappeared. Not because she had finally convinced herself, not because evidence suddenly appeared. It happened because she had stopped feeding doubt with endless attention. For the first time, the feeling of her wish already being fulfilled was allowed to exist without being interrupted all day long. Within 2 weeks, she met someone. Within a month, she found herself in the very relationship she had imagined. But later she told me the relationship wasn't the greatest gift. The real breakthrough was realizing that doubt had never possessed any power of its own. It only ever had the power she continually handed to it. Here's another way to see it that can completely change your relationship with doubt. Faith and doubt are not opposites. They're the same creative force pointed in different directions. When you doubt, you're assuming with emotion, certainty, and conviction that your desire won't happen, that you don't have it yet, or that the law won't work for you. When you have faith, you're using that exact same creative ability to assume your desire is already complete, already yours, and unfolding perfectly. The mechanism is identical. The only difference is where you're directing it. Think about what that means. Doubt isn't your enemy. It doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't prove your faith is weak or that you're unworthy of what you desire. It's simply your creative power focused on the wrong destination. The purpose of the 30-second practice isn't to destroy doubt, suppress it, or win some exhausting spiritual battle. It's much simpler than that. Every time your attention wanders, you gently guide it back, again and again, back to your chosen assumption, back to the feeling that it's already done, back to the fulfilled state. There is no struggle required. There's only the quiet habit of noticing where your awareness has gone and deliberately choosing where it belongs. That's the entire practice. Now here's your 7-day exercise. Choose one desire, just one. Make it something meaningful, something that matters enough that doubt often tries to pull your attention away from it. For the next 7 days, this is your only responsibility. The moment doubt appears, recognize it within a few seconds. Don't argue with it. Don't explain. Don't defend yourself. End the conversation with one simple phrase that feels natural to you. Then immediately spend the rest of those 30 seconds returning to the feeling that your desire is already fulfilled. Do this every single time, not only when it's easy, not only when the doubt seems small, not unless you think this concern is probably valid. Every doubt, every time, 30 seconds or less. If it helps, quietly keep track of it throughout the day. Simply notice how many times doubt appeared, and more importantly, how many times you chose not to feed it. Instead of criticizing yourself, simply notice how often you redirected your attention within those 30 seconds. The goal isn't judgment, it's awareness. You're training yourself to become what I like to call a hunter of doubt. Someone who recognizes these thoughts the instant they appear, before they have a chance to settle into consciousness. At first, doubt may show up dozens of times a day, and that's perfectly okay. That's not failure. That's practice. Every time you catch it, every time you redirect your attention back to your fulfilled assumption, you're reinforcing a new habit. Repetition is what reshapes consciousness. Each time you refuse to feed doubt, you're silently declaring, "This isn't the reality I choose to live in. This thought has no place here." Around the 3rd day, you'll probably notice something changing. Doubt still appears, but it doesn't feel as convincing. It loses its weight. It begins to sound like a voice that's slowly realizing it no longer has your attention. By the 7th day, you'll likely experience an even deeper shift. Your assumption of already having your desire will feel more stable, more natural, and more real than it did when you started. Not because you've received proof, or because the outside world has changed, but because you've consistently chosen that state instead of the old one. Consciousness always strengthens what you repeatedly occupy. Keep going for another week, then another, and watch what happens. The real transformation isn't only the manifestation itself, although that follows. It's the inner state that makes manifestation unavoidable. For most people, somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks of consistent practice, something fundamental changes. Doubt may still appear occasionally, but it no longer arrives with authority. It feels more like someone knocking on a door that never opens than someone who still belongs inside the house. Then one day, something remarkable happens. A doubtful thought passes through your mind without capturing you. You notice it the way you notice a car driving past your window. It comes and it goes. You don't chase it. You don't wrestle with it. You simply let it pass. At that moment, you'll realize your consciousness has been retrained. Through repeated practice, you've taught yourself that the fulfilled state is your natural home. Since doubt has been denied the attention it depends on, it gradually fades. Not because you forced it away, but because you've stopped giving it life. This isn't suppression. Suppression keeps something buried while secretly feeding it underneath. This is replacement. Little by little, your new assumption becomes stronger than the old pattern. Eventually, the feeling of already having your desire becomes your mind's default resting place. Whenever your attention wanders, it naturally returns to fulfillment instead of lack. When that happens, manifestation is no longer something you're trying to accomplish. It becomes the natural result of the state you're consistently living from. The law has always worked this way. It isn't difficult, complicated, or selective. It doesn't ask for flawless faith or perfect thoughts. It simply reflects the state you occupy most consistently. Remain in the assumption of fulfillment and allow the law to do what it has always done. So, beginning tonight, I'm asking only one thing of you. Don't try to transform your entire life overnight. Don't take on an impossible spiritual challenge. Just follow one simple rule. Whenever doubt appears, and it probably will, don't give it more than 30 seconds. Notice it. Decline to engage with it. Then return immediately to the feeling that your desire is already fulfilled. Do this every single time. Not forever, but until your new pattern becomes stronger than the old one. Until the fulfilled state feels more familiar than doubt. Until living from your wish fulfilled simply feels like who you are. When that day arrives, and it will, if you remain faithful to these small moments, you'll understand something that no lecture can fully explain. Doubt was never your enemy. It never possessed any real power. It only seemed powerful because you kept directing your attention toward it. The moment you calmly turned your awareness elsewhere, without struggle or drama, its influence disappeared. 30 seconds, that's all. Notice it. Release it. Return to your assumption. It's already done. Good evening, my friends. This is Neville, Wisdom Library. Until we meet again in consciousness, continue assuming your greatness, refuse to feed doubt, and always live from the end.